Hi guys, so today we're going to take a look at how to add a hot spare to your pool in TrueNAS. So what is a hot spare and why do you need one in one of your pools? Well, if you've got a pool where you're storing your data on physical disks, then eventually one of those disks is going to fail. That's pretty much a guarantee. And when that disk fails, you want to get it swapped out as quickly as possible with a good disk, because the longer you've got a failed disk in your pool, the longer you've got a chance that one of the other drives will start to fail, and then you're at risk of data loss and data corruption and a few other things that we don't ever want to experience. So a lot of people handle this by using cold spares, and a cold spare is when you've got a spare drive somewhere in your office, your storage space, or nearby to hand, and you physically swap the failed drive out with a good new drive. But that involves you being available whenever the drive fails. It involves needing to take apart your existing TrueNAS server and putting in a good drive. And during the time that it takes you to get that drive and have the free time to go in and swap it out with the failed drive, you might have another drive failure, and it sort of puts your data at risk there as well. That might not be the case for your environment if you're a business and you've got somebody on hand 24/7 who's able to swap out those drives. But for a lot of us, we like the security of making sure that there's an automated way to recover from that kind of failure and make sure that we've got 100% uptime. So the hot spare is always plugged into your machine, and whenever a drive fails, it automatically swaps itself in for the failed drive. And that means that you can go in and you can replace the failed drive at your leisure. Then when you do go in, you take out the failed drive and put in a good drive, the hot spare automatically removes itself from the pool again, and it's available in case one of the other drives starts to fail. So all round, it's a really great option with very few disadvantages. One of the biggest criticisms for this is people talk about how it takes up a spare slot and uses up a drive all of the time. To be honest with you, I think that having the hot spare there, the redundancy it gives you, makes it completely worthwhile. So we're going to take a look at how we would add that into our existing pool. So we're just going to take a look at the main page here of TrueNAS, and then on the left hand side we're going to see the storage option, and when we click on that we'll see pools, and you'll see the two pools that I've got listed on here on my TrueNAS installation. We're going to hit the gear icon here on the right hand side. We're going to have the option to add VDEVs. Now there's already a data VDEV that's added here by default, but that's not what we're interested in. We're going to click this blue add VDEV button on the top left hand side, and then we're going to select the option for a hot spare. These are other VDEV types. We'll look at some of these in future videos, but right now hot spare is what we're looking for. So we can see that here on the bottom. And what we've got here is, this is the 5 drives that I have in my TrueNAS installation that are available and not currently in use in a pool. So I've got several 3 terabyte drives and one 1 terabyte drive. I know that in the pool that I'm adding this hot spare to, the biggest other drive that I've got is 1 terabyte. So really it's overkill to add one of the 3 terabyte drives. I'm going to select my spare 1 terabyte drive, and I'm going to add it as a spare VDEV. We want to make sure that we don't put it in the data VDEV selection. We're going to put it down here in the spare. And then we'll see that after the addition of the spare, the available data pretty much stays the same. I know that I've got 700 gigabytes free in this pool, and that's not going to change because the spare is not going to be used unless one of the other drives starts to fail. So then we hit add VDEVs, and then we get a warning here that if I add this drive to the pool, it's going to erase any existing data on the disk. I'm fine with that. I know that there's nothing on that disk. It's designed to be a hot spare. So then I click confirm, and then I'm going to just click the add VDEVs button. So it'll take a minute here for it to add it to the pool and then extend the ZFS pool, but it shouldn't take too long because there's not going to be much stored on it, so it doesn't really need to resilver or anything like that. You can see it's already done here. So then we're going to hit the gear icon again and just hit status. And we can see that all of the options that I've got here, we've got my existing VDEVs mirrors with the existing 6 drives in this pool, and then I've got this spare option down here, which is the drive that I've just added, and that it's online and available. So that's it, guys. That's how you add a hot spare to your TrueNAS pool. We're going to look at some other VDEVs in future videos. I know I mentioned that already, so stay tuned for that. And if I could ask you again to do the YouTube dance, which is to like, comment, and subscribe to the videos. It really helps out the channel, and it lets me know what kind of content that you guys would like to see in the future. So I'll catch you on the flip side.